So we have a saying, a little silat goes a long way. Yeah? So with silat masters, in particular traditional masters, it's about quality rather than quantity. We rather have a few shining candles that can illuminate a dark room than many candles that have no luster and no light.
Would you describe Silat as a street fighting martial art or a weapons martial art, or what sort of thing is it?
Silat is a holistic martial art because of the influences it had from so many different cultures. One day you go to Silat class, it looks like karate. Another day you go to Silat class, it looks like jazz dancing. There's a dance element. It's colourful, it has music. Another day you go, it looks like judo, grappling. Another day you go, it looks like boxing, striking. Another class you may have looks like Thai boxing or Taekwondo. It's not that those arts were brought in. It's just the influence of the mindset of the people, of those cultures. So Japanese is very militaristic, very disciplined. Ippon, one hit kill, destruction within their karate. This got also brought into Silat, the mentality, the mindset. When the Malays had interrelations in ancient times with Japanese, in Hung Tua's time. Now that's another story, you know. The Chinese Kung Fu, you know. It's not that Chinese Kung Fu was brought in, but when the people intermarried, especially royalty at that time, the children that they had, and the royal bodyguards, they exchanged knowledge. So some of the Kung Fu over there, the Kunta, becomes Silatified. That's what's called Kunta. And certain Silat got the influence of Kunta within it, you know. So, and certain Silats would have the influence of Indian martial arts, Thai martial arts, especially northern Thailand. Northern Malaysia, southern Thailand, Patani region. So you've got arts there that less Chinese influence, more Thai influence. You know, then certain have got Burmese influence, and so forth like this. So, and Indonesia is slightly different again. But the core essence of Silat and the teachings is near enough one and the same. It's what I mentioned earlier. It's about character development, cultivation of oneself in a positive manner, and so forth. Yeah. So, all these cultures contributed to the weaponry. Certain unarmed combat ranges. Certain of these arts specialise more in grappling. You know, so that influenced certain Silats. And they brought in the grappling element, you know, in that sense. Certain Silats have striking, called pukulan, like sending, bois pukul type arts, kuntao type arts. These are striking, mainly striking based arts. Then you've got Silats that are purely spiritual in nature, you know, and they have no physical motion as such. And theirs is more through introspection, a bit like the Taoist, old Taoist martial arts of the Chinese. So Silat is holistic art. It covers all ranges. Most weapons, famous thing called the karambit, that's used by special forces around the world today. The parang is like a machete, which is also being used by the British SAS. Gurkhas got the kukri. This is also used in Silat, adopted. Albeit they call it by different names. The Trishula and so forth. Obviously the Hindu Vedic time, you know, called the Sai. Tekpi, you know. The Japanese call it the Sai. So they got archery, horseback archery, sword fighting, pedang. Some of the sword fighting methods also have influence from Arabia and from the old Islamic warriors, especially Sayyidina Ali. India, heavy influence in terms of weaponry as well, long staff and so forth. So Silat is a very comprehensive, holistic martial art. It's not just about mind, body and soul. It can stem from Silat Pendita, which means Silat of the hermits that lived in the jungles and the mountains. Silat Kampong, Silat of the villages, and battlefield Silat. The battlefield Silat and the hermit Silat is more what I focus on. Okay, so Silat Bendita and battlefield Silat. So, yeah, that's the answer really. It's holistic, comprehensive, covers all ranges, as mind, body and soul, can satisfy most who come with correct intention. Those who come to, I wouldn't say Silat is the best art, but I would say it's a very complete art. So if you're looking at an art, they help you to complete yourself, help you to fulfill yourself, your potential. An art that encompasses all aspects of warfare, combat, and enables you to navigate through life much more easier. And Silat is the art for you. And especially if you're looking for an art that every movement is worship. The training involves overcoming your ego. But if you're looking for quick fix, looking for trophies, looking to beat people up, just looking for self-defense, there's many other arts that cater to that. I would suggest MMA, kickboxing and so forth. If you're looking at something to protect just your ego and arts of war, go to those arts. But if you're looking for an art of stopping war and only doing jihad ul-akbar, jihad means to struggle, not what is being made out to me. Yeah? Jihad al-akbar, the great struggle, means struggle against self. If you want to learn how to struggle against yourself, to better yourself, then this art is for you. But if you're looking at protecting, you see a lot of other arts, whether it's boxing, Thai, like this, Muay Thai, karate, praying mantis. This is all saying, me, my radius, I'm protecting my area. You're not coming in. Like a fence, a sword. It has circumferences and radiuses. It doesn't allow someone coming. So it's about protecting me. It's saying me, me. Boxing, me. Praying mantis, about me. All this me. Silat teaches you slowly to open up the heart. The guard, there is no guard. It's open. It says, come, brother. My heart, come. Hit me. Do whatever you want. Without hatred. A bit like the Venus flytrap. When the fly comes in, zap! The fly doesn't realise. So it has a lot of basic. It works in human psychology. If you're understanding yourself, you understand the psychology of your opponent. It's very different. And in order to do that, you have to be able to magnify the heart. You have to go beyond the stage of fear. All of this is fear. Maybe good God, but what's it guarding? When you realize and you transcend, there is no fear. There's only action to do. Play of energies, play of minds. In for your movement. Your movement comes from your heart. This is what SILAT Sufism and most spiritual paths teach. That every movement be from your heart. Every action be attentive. Every movement you do be an act of worship. So that's what people can't understand when we do this. It's rather better to have good intention, even in combat, rather than negative intention. Anyone can be an animal and go crazy, use anger, grit teeth, and anyone can do that. Where is the skill, the true skill in that? Where is the true skill in that? Where's the true warrior in that? You see? So, this is the difference between Silat and most other martial arts. The Indian martial arts have it as well, the Vedic martial arts. like Kalari and Dangta and sort of. They have a similar mindset, you know, and outlook. The movement has to be from the heart, you know. You know, it's from the heart to embrace, to friendship. Silat movement. This can be a strike, or this can be helpful friendship. This helpful friendship can then bring to the heart, can shield those who want to be your friend. The same, this can be a strike for those who don't want to be your friend. Against tyranny. We hate the tyranny of tyrannical people. But their true heart, their true nature, we do not hate. Because it's conditioning that makes a person evil. No one is born evil. So why not have a conditioning method that enables you to go above and beyond all conditioning? So that's where Silat is actually an art that builds bridges between communities, people, builds a brotherhood. It seeks a bridge, like Wing Chun builds a bridge to make friendship. It is not about destroying a bridge. So it's not an art, even though it's a battlefield art. It's like a contradiction, but it's not a contradiction, it's a paradox. And the paradox is this, that it's an art of stopping war. And it's geared towards an idealism in the future where there is no wars. It's an ideal, but isn't a good ideal to work towards as individuals and as collectives. So henceforth, this is the difference between Silat and other arts and why I choose to do Silat. The Chinese internal martial arts, like Bagua, Xingyi, Tai Chi, are also very good in this sense, especially if you can find a teacher that has all-round knowledge to do with the ethics, the spirituality, the philosophy. Because without philosophy, martial arts is just a fighting method, a combat method. UFC, this and that. It's not humane. True martial arts came from religion, spirituality, be it Shaolin, you know, temple, be it the Gurukul ashrams, be it the old Sufi khanqahs, dargahs. It came from spirituality. And the beauty of Silat, what it has to offer the modern community of martial artists and humanity, is to reinstill that spirituality and that philosophy that will bring so much more meaning to martial arts. Because martial arts in general, and religion and spirituality has had so much bad press. It's almost divorced from its heart. Just like with some religions, and divorced from their heart, which means their spiritual heart. And that drives people away from them, rather than attract and bring them towards them. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, I've learned so much about Silat. It's such a wide subject and it's so deep, and it's your philosophy itself is amazing. I hope that we can speak again soon and maybe talk about other parts of your learnings in life and demonstrations maybe.
You're more than welcome. I'm honoured. Thank you very much for the invite, and thank you for invite to Brother Nassim Khan. It was his idea and his request that I do this for the benefit of the Ummah and to build bridges between different communities, especially here in the UK, especially through martial arts and spirituality. And I hope everyone's had a brief introduction and a brief insight into what I do and what I teach, and I hope it brings benefit to the community at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Khuda Hafiz, Sat Sri Akal, Namaste, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Assalamu Alaikum, Khuda Hafiz, and Sat Sri Akal.
Thank you.
Thank you.